This conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys. So welcome everybody to AnCan's MS group. So the way we like to do things here is we like to just go around and just do like a quick little introduction. So I guess I'll just go by my screen, like what my screen says. So Andrea, if you want to give, oh wait, no, I'll give a quick introduction first, and then Andrea, you can go. So my name is Hannah, and I am an artist instructor, and I have been diagnosed with MS for 7 years. Actually, 7 years coming or starting on June 28th, so this Friday. So yeah, I guess I was diagnosed in 2017. But of course, I've had like the symptoms like way before that too. I'm on Ocrevus right now, relapsing remitting. So yeah, those are the big things. Andrea?
My name is Andrea. I live in North Carolina on the Outer Banks. I was diagnosed in 2012 and I am currently on Ocrevus.
Very cool. And hello, Chris. Good to see you. Glad you could join us. We're just going around giving introductions, just quick introductions. Frank, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Frank Austin. I'm from Plainville, Kansas. That's right smack in the middle of the 48 states. I mean, really, if you put your finger in the center of the 48 states, you're covering me up. I was diagnosed in 1997. I've actually been exhibiting symptoms since 1984. It took them a while to figure out what was going on. I am on nothing. I have secondary progressive MS, and things have kind of quieted down in my life. So, uh, yeah, just loving it.
Good. Thank you, Frank. Jennifer?
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I live in Michigan. My husband is also living with MS. He's not here, he's working right now. Um, I am on Rituxan and yeah, I have new glasses. So that's it.
Oh, nice.
They're beautiful.
Thank you, Jennifer. Amy, hi, Amy. Good to meet you. We're just doing some quick introductions right now, just going around. So we'll get to you, okay? Louise, would you like to go?
Yes, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I
okay.
can.
Okay, I'm Louise and I'm from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia in Canada. And I was diagnosed in 91 and I'm presently taking baclofen and I have relapsing remittance, I think. I was diagnosed with relapsing remittance. I'm not sure where I'm heading. Anyway, that's it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. I forgot to mention, guys. Okay, my fault. If you would like some time to speak tonight, let us know in your introductions. So we always want to give you guys plenty of time. And if you don't want to speak, that's okay. You don't have to speak at all. Did I miss anything, guys? Andrea? Oh, Andrea, you'd like to speak? Okay. All right. Sherry, would you like to go?
I'm Sherry from Michigan. Diagnosed in 2018. That's it.
Um, do you have like progressive or relapsing remitting?
Relapsing, remitting,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
and they didn't know if I'm on the borderline of being secondary progressive yet.
Hmm. Okay, I gotcha. Would you like some time to speak tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
All right. No problem. Chris, would you like to go next?
Yep. So hi you guys, I'm Chris, and thanks Hannah for this, by the way. Um, I just was diagnosed on the 15th. So, very early on, like Frank said, I have experienced symptoms for so long. And as crazy as it sounds, I am just thrilled that finally I understand what my body is doing and why all these crazy things have been happening. So, I'm at the very beginning, and I don't necessarily need to speak today. I'm just so glad to listen to others who have been on this journey for a little bit longer. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're here, Chris. I'm glad you could join us. Catherine?
Hey, yeah, so I'm kind of in the same boat as Chris. I was just diagnosed on the 19th, so I'm not sure exactly what type I have yet, and I'm still kind of in the process of figuring out, disease modifying treatment, and what medications are going to work best. But I've had some like interesting arrays of symptoms for a really long time as well that just never really kind of connected until I had my flare about a week and a half ago, and we were able to find that it was MS. So yeah, I definitely value all of your advice and stories, and just seeing how well you're doing, given your diagnosis, and yeah, go from there.
Awesome. And would you like some time to speak tonight?
I don't think I need to tonight. Thank you, though.
No worries. Thank you, Catherine. Amy, would you like to go next? Oh, we
Amy,
can't
you're
hear you. I
muted.
think you're muted.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yes.
Okay, great. Hi. Yeah, my name is Amy Adams, and I was diagnosed in 2014. And I started on Copaxone and then switched to Overvis, and now I'm on Briumvi. So that is my medications right now. And yes, if I may have some time afterwards to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Amy. Jeanette?
Is that me?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
Jeanette. Hello.
Oh, okay. I am semi new to the group. I just uh, got with you guys last time, or the last meeting. I have been diagnosed for 30 years actually, and it goes well for me. I have cognitive issues mostly, not really any what do you call it? Physical stuff, but I do have some physical. So it's not always that you have to go down right away. I have relapsing remitting, but I was just diagnosed with I think a lesion on my thyroid, not on my thyroid, on my pituitary gland. And they say it's not connected to MS, but I don't know if there are similarities or not. I don't know if anyone else has ever been, had that happen or whatever. So I have doctor's appointments to go in and see about that, or if it at all can be connected to my MS. I don't think so. Again, I've had it 30 years, so
Interesting.
I think the doctors are gonna take some time and really figure that out for you. What the doctors love to say is that MS does not keep you from getting other diseases or
right.
having other health issues. So your doctors are gonna help you tease that out and figure that out.
Yeah, my MS specialist neurologist called me and explained it all to me, and he's just referring me to other doctors, so because he's leaving his practice, gosh darn it, but he wants me to follow through with my primary and see where they can send me to an endocrinologist. I can't talk, sorry. Or, where to go from here, because I have had thyroid issues from way back when, and they blew it apart, some of it, and I still had it. So I have medication that I replace it with. But I guess um, I can't say the name. I guess the thing that I have now can mess around with your hormones and thyroid and all of that. So I'm sure it's going to be intertwined, all of this. And I have an appointment. They made it as soon as possible for Thursday, so I'll go in and see what's next for me. But my MS doesn't seem to be the horrid thing right now, so I'm grateful for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we're not really exempt from getting other things, unfortunately. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
my thyroid came first, and it's right out of high school, I think, pretty much, and then MS 200 years later. So yeah.
200. Um, okay, well, would you like some time tonight, Jeanette? Or today?
Okay. I can't even talk now. I can't even speak or think now. So no, I think I better leave you guys out of it for right now.
You're good. No, you're good. Clearly I can't think either. Um, all right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and open the floor then. Anybody who wants to say what's on your mind, go ahead. I know, and Andrea and Sherry, you guys, said that you wanted some time. Yeah, you're welcome to step up.
Do you want to start, Sherry? Oh, you're on mute. We
Oh,
can't hear
yeah,
you.
you're muted. Yeah,
Sorry.
there we go.
Okay. Um, okay. My daughter is my caregiver, and they have a big anniversary coming up the second to the last week of July. Well, now they have canceled it because they can't find any replacement. What is a person supposed to do when they're a family caregiver? Excuse me, and they can't find anyone to help. I mean, I've called my home health care worker. I've called everyone I know. I just now they canceled their vacation, and I feel really bad. I feel like I'm holding them back from life.
You're not sure who to turn to for help while they're gone.
No, I called my home
Mm,
health care worker, and he wasn't. He said, "Oh, we'd have to train someone and get them in the system and have them background checked and all this and that." And then
mm.
I just, I, I don't know, like respite care or something like that.
Well, respite is for like end of life, but have you tried the National MS Society? Maybe a navigator can help you. I know you live in such a rural area. I know that getting anybody to help you is the problem. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so sorry, Sherry.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that too, Andrea. I wonder if the MS Society has any resources, or even any of the other two, like the MS Focus or even the MSAA. I want to look that up right now myself because that's something that I want to know too. Because you need just somebody to take over for your family, for your daughter.
For 1 week.
Um,
For 1 week.
yeah,
Four
for one
days,
week, 4 days.
4 days
Okay.
within a week, so they can go and have a nice vacation with with my grandkids. I just want them to have a nice vacation.
Yeah.
Well, where do you live, Sherry?
In
Michigan,
Michigan.
I feel like I'm
She's in the
holding them
UP
back.
of Michigan. She's up
No,
there.
no, I'm not in the UP. I'm in northern Lower Michigan. I'm by the UP, not very far from the bridge.
Well, I just chose MSAA, so I'm going to see if I can find something on there for as far as respite care is concerned.
It's really hard uh, to be alone in a city where you don't have any family. Like when they leave, I don't have any family or friends.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of scary. I know I'm old enough. I should not be scared, but I don't know.
Well, No, it is scary. No, I understand. Your feelings of being scared are totally understandable. And I know that you mentioned that you want your family to have a good time, and live their life, and you know, it's understandable the way you're feeling. Um, Gosh, I just wish I had better ideas as to where you could go. Um, the MS navigators,
I just
I'm sure they would help. Um,
Okay. I didn't think of that. I'll call
I
them.
actually can you hear me?
yeah. Hmm.
Not sure. Okay. Yeah, so I just looked up for Michigan respite care, and it says right here, obviously I haven't gone into it, but it says, yeah, Michigan Alliance for Families. And this is respite provides a break from the daily routine for caring for a family member with a disability. So it looks like there might be something with that you can look it up through the respite search word. Or Sherry, did you say that you're, you want to just be around other people? Is it so that you could call for someone in case you need help?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. I don't know. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Ju- I'm
Mm.
starting
Maybe, I mean,
to just feel really alone up here.
yeah.
Amy, what was the name of the organization you found?
Michigan Alliance for Families.
Yes,
Okay.
it's called Michigan Alliance. Yes,
I wrote it down.
and it's .org
Okay, good.
and takes you to it. Um, but just
Oh,
another idea that came to mind, and it might be a financial, but if you were to get a hotel room and a hotel not too far away, just so that you'd be around other people, that's not a great idea, but if you could be an option maybe.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll write
yeah.
it down.
Um, I don't I don't know too much about this, but perhaps maybe your insurance might have some ideas.
I don't know. I,
My insurance has United Healthcare has a 60-hour, I might be lying, but a 60-hour a week help, in-home help connected to it. So if you have any insurance like that and you could check
Yeah.
into it,
well,
maybe.
I couldn't join an HMO or any kind of plan because there's so doctors few and far between up here, The only
Right.
one except so, and we're in a doctor's shortage right now.
Mm,
Yes.
So I just have straight Medicare and Medicaid. I don't
And
have
you can
any
call,
due to the fact that doctors are, when
does
you have,
Medicare have anything?
well, when you have a Medicare plan, there's that's the same thing. Doctors will only accept, or certain doctors will only accept that plan.
True.
And
yeah,
so
it's
I have
annoying.
straight, just no plans because there's nobody up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have no caregiver. I do live with my son, but he has to be out all the time, so he can't really take care of me. But most of my issues are cognitive, thankfully, I guess. Maybe. So, yeah, if I just stay in the house, I'll be okay, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking at the MSAA website, and I do see that they have a toll-free helpline. So I'll go ahead and type that phone number into the chat so that it's just there. I've never used it before, but it's right there at the top of their website, so maybe they'll have some information. Let's see.
MSAA.
Yeah, the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America, MSAA. Typing it right now.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, of course. I'm kind of slow with this, so okay.
While Hannah's typing, hi, John.
There it is.
Hi everyone.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Oh,
I'm
good to see you.
those of you that have been with me for a while. Um, I'm back in my office. I'm home.
You're home.
Oh,
I'm home.
Home
hooray!
office.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been gone for so long. So
Yeah, 5 weeks.
yeah.
The last two of them with the UTI.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no fun. Okay. So that's how it's going.
Yeah. So I've said, hey, 2 weeks of antibiotics and it's not touching stuff. What is going to be our next step? And so I'm waiting for a phone call back with what our next step is. I think it's going to be imaging for perhaps for a kidney stone. But yeah. Did we do introductions for the new friends?
We did at the
Yeah.
beginning, yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
hey, I'm John. I live in Michigan. Relapse remitting since 2016. I am on Zeposia. There we go.
Perfect. And do you want some time tonight, John?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, of course. Well, Andrea, did you want to go? You want to say something?
Sure. Are we just now recording?
Hmm? Oh
Um,
no, we're recording. No, we're recording. It's Rick's popping up in and out.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
we're recording.
I feel like it's been a while since I've been here too. I was um filing for Family Medical Leave Act at work so that I could start focusing a bit on my health. And really, I plan to roll that into short-term disability and then into fully filing for Social Security disability. But while I was in the middle of filing for FMLA, I was laid off,
Mm, jeez.
which so I lost my benefits. I lost what there's no use in FMLA. That's not like you get any money off of that. It just says they can't, you know, they have to have a job for you when you come back. But I lost my short-term disability because I'm no longer employed there. Um, I started thinking since I was laid off, maybe I can apply for unemployment insurance. And in order to get logged on, I was having trouble getting logged on. So I called the help desk, and in the 40-minute wait that I had, they play messages um, telling you about Social Security, or not Social, sorry, unemployment insurance. And one of the things they brought up is that in order to receive unemployment insurance, you have to be actively looking for a job and you have to be both mentally and physically capable of working. And if I'm in the middle of filing for FMLA and short-term disability, I don't, which of course I've lost now, but um, but I've opened a claim with the EEOC for the EEOC for discrimination. That's the word. Because I'm having trouble finding words. I'm forgetting things all the time. Um, I honestly can't work longer than 3 hours without just losing my mind. Um, and so, I mean, my work hours were flexible. So, I would work for a little bit, sleep for a little bit, work, or not necessarily sleep, but rest for a little bit, like, so my 8-hour day would take all day, but that was okay because, it's not like I'm out doing anything anyway, but anyway, so it's just been super duper uber stressful. And I have been doing everything I can to not stress. And it just, life is just making it really hard not to stress.
It does that, yeah. Yeah.
So, so that's where I've been for the last month or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you had been I guess for like you'd kind of gotten an idea that they might do that for a long time now. Um
Been waiting to get laid
Definitely.
off, but it's the fact that they waited for me to file for FMLA. Step one in
Um
filing for FMLA is telling your supervisor. So I told my supervisor I'm going to file because I'm having health issues and I need to go out. And they start working on laying me off. Like
yeah.
that's just illegal.
Seems
That's
like
just
it.
downright illegal.
Yeah, yeah. It does. So you've already filed with the EEOC, is that what it was?
Yeah, I called a lawyer because I wanted to sue them, and he was like, "Yeah, it sounds like, they were retaliating against you for filing for FMLA." And I said, "Yes." And he was like, "Well, but all of the proof is on you. They can say they were already planning to do this, both
Mm,
North Carolina and New Jersey, where the headquarters of this company is, are work at will states, meaning both either party can decide to work or not work at any given time. They can fire me or I can quit. Um, and so I had very little legal standing. He also said that the federal judge on or in Eastern North Carolina, where I live, is one of the most conservative judges in the country and will pretty much basically probably rule with the company and not with the individual. And so he's the one that sent me to the EEOC. He said, I think you have a discrimination claim that you can put in, and the EEOC will help you. So far, the EEOC has accepted it as a claim that should move forward. I've agreed to mediation, which, if I'm not happy with mediation, I'm pretty sure I can go on to actual court, but we'll try mediation first. Um, I had 625 hours of sick leave in the bank that I was planning to use while I was on FMLA to get paid. So I lost 3 months of pay. Their severance was 4 weeks for putting me off, which is like, I mean, I had a lot more than 4 weeks in sick leave in the bank. That doesn't even count any vacation time that I had accrued up until May when I was laid off. That doesn't get paid out. Um, mm-mm. You're on mute, Frank, but I
yeah.
can see your mouth moving.
I can't believe they didn't pay out your vacation. That's time worked.
Yeah.
That,
It's
that
the North Carolina is a very, very conservative state, and the law does not say that they have to pay it out, and the company will not pay out a single penny that is not in the law that they have to pay out.
I,
Oh my God.
I've got a real problem with that. I mean, I live in
Yeah.
Kansas. This place is about as conservative as you can get, and vacation is time worked.
Yeah.
Not here. Not
Wow.
here. But that'll be
I,
part of my negotiation in the mediation. If we go to mediation, I think they have to agree to it too. But I don't know. I don't know how, the lawyer that I hired said it can take 6 months or more to go through the EEOC process. So it's just like a sit around and wait type of game and not get paid anything in the meantime, but still have to pay for food and rent, not rent, but mortgage and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah. I think this is another instance where maybe the MS Society navigators could help again, because they do dip their toes into all aspects of MS, including the political and
mhm,
work-related
you're right.
issues too.
You're right.
Um,
I'll give them a call. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Hannah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And I would add to that, I actually contacted the MS Society, and one of their navigators helped earlier this year with my husband's health insurance that the company was giving us trouble, and they were really helpful. So go that avenue.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other resource that I think could be helpful is Triage Cancer.
hmm
Um, because first of all, they've now moved into all chronic conditions. They are a really fantastic organization, and they're sort of legally based, and um, they have all these webinars on insurance and finance. They've got one coming up on caregiver rights on this Thursday. But they have people that can help you. Even though you have a lawyer, I do think you should call them and ask them, and they may have resources. I'll put their I'll put their link, and if there's a phone number, I'll put that too in the chat window. Andrea, I've just got to look it up.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the phone number. I found the website, Triage Cancer. Let me see.
They're really good, and they do know us. We've done webinars with them together. We've partnered with them on webinars before.
Okay.
But um, they, uh, I can look for it, Hannah. I'm on the
Okay,
site. I'll see what I can find, and if
okay.
not, you'll have to go through Contact Us. But they may push everything through Contact Us. Oh no, here's a telephone number. I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in for you.
Thank you.
You're a lot faster
Okay.
than I
Okay.
am. Okay.
And I'll put in their email address as well.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. That's a good resource.
Okay. So I think between them and the National MS Society, who have navigators, and that's exactly what they're there for.
Yeah.
Right.
They should, you know. I don't know, Frank. Do you know more about the NMSS navigation for stuff like this?
oh, they can put you in just about any direction you call them for. They are so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
They are they are so good.
hmm
Yep.
We,
Yeah, I'm just sad you have to deal with all of that because it's such a headache.
Oh, it makes me so angry. I
Yeah.
mean, the story is worse than that, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, that's the nice version. I'll start cussing if I get into the other stuff. It make me
That's
so
fine.
angry. Make me
I
so
know.
angry.
Well,
Yeah.
you're entitled. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the one thing we can say to you here is we all feel it. You're entitled. You're entitled to be angry. You're entitled to be upset. You're entitled to cuss anywhere you want. It's just wrong.
Go scream in a
Just,
pillow if you want.
yeah, yeah.
I've
You
done
are
a lot.
in.
I've done, yeah, yeah. And then last Wednesday, my ex-boyfriend died, and I have a lot of really conflicting emotions around that. He was abusive,
Mm,
and so I was in Raleigh this past weekend because I was organizing a couple friends of mine are in some bands, and so we had do one of those DIY fundraisers every year for the National MS Society. We raised $1,300 this year,
wow, very cool.
and that's when his sister decided to reach out and tell me. It was like right as all this was beginning. So I had the 3-hour drive home to think about it, and there were so many good times. I mean, I did love him. And I'm really sad that that person is gone. But at the end of every single good memory I had was him putting a knife to my throat.
Mm.
And and then I'm like, well, I mean, at least he's never gonna knock on my door again, you know?
Yeah.
And then I feel guilty for feeling relief, if that's what you want to call it, or
Mhm.
like, and so it's interesting, just the number of emotions that have been going on in my head. So I don't know, maybe I see. And when I would get like this, what I used to do is go out and run, and I can't do that anymore.
Mm.
And that's the way I used to get rid of all this.
Um, have you ever tried a punching bag? I'm just saying. It would make me feel better. I
Um,
That's
mean,
not a bad idea. Yeah.
just one of those ones that hangs from the doorway. You can just walk up to
hmm
it, punch it for a little bit, walk away.
or you can use a knife and just stab it.
I kind of like that one. Yeah, because even
Sure.
washing my hair, my arms get tired. So I can't even, I don't know. You don't have to do it for very
Um,
long, I guess. But
just
yeah.
punch and go. That's all.
Yeah.
Punch and go. That's it. If it makes you feel any better, Andrea, I personally would not feel bad at all if something like that happened to my ex, who was also abusive. And, I would, it sounds terrible, I know, but he was abusive. And I would not feel bad at all if anything happened. So
Well, and then
just
I
if
feel
that makes you
grateful
feel
that
better.
no other woman has to go through what I went through,
Yeah, there you go.
So there's that too. Like,
Yeah, there's that too. Your experiences are valid. They're your experiences, and it's a mixed bag of emotions, like you said.
that's
So
right.
it's
Without the
a
downs,
lot.
you can't enjoy the ups. So unfortunately, I think we all get our fair share of downs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm just sad that all of that is happening at once for you. It's a lot.
It is. So I just am looking forward to a day in the hopefully not too distant future that things will just
Yeah.
settle down and life will be boring again.
That'd be great.
Man, how
I
Um,
often
hope
do we?
when you have MS.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
love it
It's
when.
never boring.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
So that
just
was
John,
say,
it. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, of course, of course. John, did you wanna go ahead and speak?
Sure. Andrea, as you know, I always say when shit like that happens, I'm sorry. That really fucking sucks. Like I've said that before to tons of people, as you know. Like,
I'm
I'm
doing
sorry.
everything I can to laugh about it. That's what I'm
Okay.
doing.
Okay. Andrea, my grandma died like a week and a half ago, okay?
Oh, I'm
Mixed
sorry.
emotions. I was sad, but not for her. She was a
Mm.
bitch my whole life. She told me I'd grow out of MS. I'll grow out of it. Um, in lieu of flowers, donations to the MS Society. So instead of growing out of it, maybe don't have to grow into it.
Mm,
Um, so that was a very nice gesture of her. Um, she passed away from like severe dementia. So like some relief, like my grandpa doesn't have to like worry all the time about what she's doing. My mom doesn't have to go there every day. My sister doesn't have to go there every day. You know, relieved. And here is how I dealt with it with humor, or as my therapist calls it, your usual redirection from pain. All right. So we're in my grandmother's very Catholic funeral. All right. There are priests from all over the state there. Okay. Father would say, "All rise," and I would go like this in my chair and then sit back down. And my nephews were laughing at me because you were trying to stand up, weren't you? So I was hoping, like maybe it would help. So all throughout the mass, I was trying to do that. And my dad was getting up from praying on his knees, and he seemed to be struggling. So I rolled up there. I said, "Well, it's about time you asked for help, old man." And then I helped him up.
aw.
Yeah. And so my mom got us a hotel room that was very, very accommodating. Mom went all out for this. And because I can't hold stuff, and if you can see whole body, I'm like showing how I hold stuff and then wheel on my chair at the same time. Um, but mom wanted to be involved. And my mom wanted to involve Melissa, my wife, as well. So my dad, who is an in-law, my aunt, who is an in-law, and Melissa, who's an in-law, we all carried the gifts down to the altar. And I had a beautiful bouquet of flowers. So mom made it part of that. And as we're going around, I say to my dad, because he's a smartass just like me, "Dad, should I have done a bouquet toss?" And he was laughing. I'm like, "What? Will I have the same significance? Does it mean like you're next?"
Oh gosh.
It's inappropriate conversation, but Dad's one of my best friends. Um,
That's
so,
good.
in good news, I'm back in the house after 5 weeks of hotel.
Oh, okay.
And to all of you jerks who said you're going to be so excited when it's done, I was going to mail you tortoise poop. I love it. It's done. It's so cool. There's no part of my house that's inaccessible.
Wow.
I can go everywhere. Um, so, hallway, and then 2 doors at the end, right? Office and bedroom. We switched around how my office was set up so you can make like a roundabout at the end of it. So I come down the hardwood flooring, I can do a roundabout to go into bedroom, my office, Melissa's office.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really good. For safety precautions, because of ADA, we needed to put a second entrance in. So we put one in our bedroom. And because insurance, I've got the push buttons. But because of technology, I can now open all 3 doors of my house with one push on my app on my phone.
That
Nice.
is cool. That
Yeah.
is really cool.
Um,
Wow.
But can you get out when the electricity goes down?
yeah, there's batteries. Big battery
Okay,
backup.
good.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
can also
Good.
just pull the door open, like normally. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The bathroom. Y'all want to come over and take a shower? Because my shower seat's like 3. Like I
Sweet.
can do like donuts in it. It has so many like safety railings and that kind of stuff. Um, just extra features. Handrails next to the toilets, things like that. And for those of you that are wondering how we paid for this, my wife has really nice insurance. She is a professor, and she pays for the highest tier of their insurance.
Right.
So that was able to happen. The contractor is still in the house doing little things, like putting a ramp in front of the threshold to go on the deck,
Nice.
right? Oh, so the back, I live in a single level, and there needed to be a ramp at that new back door. And so if we're putting a ramp here, it has to go like the length of the house. Can we just pay some extra to get a deck put on there? So I own an 11 by 17 deck. And it's a
Yeah.
weird shape because I don't know what you guys have, but we have septic fields, like just septic fields. And they said, well, we can't do it here because of the septic. And it'd be better for
Right.
us to do it this way. Like, yeah, sure. Ramp goes down to the patio, which gives me access to the the
You
driveway.
can get outside. You can
Yeah.
start tanning. That's awesome.
And my chair
Yeah.
works fine, so I can get like the evenest like tan ever. Just rotate, lift up, and then I'm just like right there.
So cool.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool stuff. And Andrea, because of disability bullshit, I finally get to see a judge next time. I'm finally to the judge level of, we can't figure out why why you need disability. So instead of sending paperwork in, I get to talk to like a person face to
How
face.
long has that taken?
What year is it?
2024.
Okay. So the first submission took them 6 months to get back to me. So that would have been in November. And then in February, when I was denied, I reapplied and then got back word in early May that I've been denied. So that's a denial and 2 appeals. And the next appeal is going to be in front of a judge.
Good.
So I'm going to take
Very
all
good.
my mobility things in with me. My power chair, my manual chair, all my walkers, and to say, would I have bought all this for, like, for trying to get disability?
The judge wants you to take that in, or that's your plan is to take that in
Oh,
and
that,
give
that
that
that's
as an.
that's my plan.
That's a lot of work. I'd take a
I
picture
know
of it to
that's why
say
I'm
I
not going to
own
do it.
these.
I think we have it might be a virtual session.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yeah,
Good.
and
Yeah.
we will have
Right.
a
So have
disability.
everything. Right. That's
Yeah,
good. Good, good.
and we already have our disability lawyer who has already reviewed
Good.
all the stuff. So we're excited to get on to that next step. Because remember how bad it was for a while?
Mm-hmm. I sure
Real
do.
bad. So we're ready for some good.
That's right.
But the UTI, after 2 weeks of, I always want to call it penicillin, but that's something from like my generation, like way back. Like, who's taken penicillin in like the last 60 years? So just antibiotics, 2 kinds, and it's still hurting. It's still not good. So we sent in a sample yesterday, got all sorts of like abnormals, which of course WebMD just tells you it's cancer. So you just assume that all this is cancer anyway. And then when it's not, you can kind of. And someone said, well, you have MS, at least it's not brain cancer. I was like, uh, ah,
Ugh.
uh,
brainy.
I see what you're saying there, but still, I was just like laughing about it. So
Before I was diagnosed on my WebMD search, I had narrowed it down to a brain cancer or Lyme disease. I was wrong on both accounts.
it's weird all day, friends. It's crazy.
Yep,
But sometimes you spin the big wheel on Price is Right, and then you take whatever you get.
that's right. Or you
I've
never
got,
get close enough to even get on stage.
yeah, yeah. And when you get on stage, it's because you won a treadmill.
Yeah, exactly.
A guy in a wheelchair once won a treadmill, and when he found his way on stage, Drew was like, "Man, we're sorry. You don't want to take the cash for it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that works. So, hi Jennifer.
Hi, speaking of UTI, excuse me, I had to go. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of, sorry if I
yeah,
don't know you, Kim. Or Chris, I'm sorry. New glasses, everything is still a little blurry, but everybody else, we're all friends, so I can tell
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But it's just a bear. It's a
It's,
bear to be in a wheelchair and have a urinary tract infection.
yeah.
Just so.
Hydrate, everyone. And Frank has his hand up like he wants to complain about Jennifer.
No, I wasn't going to complain. I was going to say, is Mike P. Mike Pettipool?
Yes, Mike Pettypool is, I assume that's Mike down here. I haven't heard from him. Of course,
Yes.
I was in bed.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yes, I am here. Thank you. I figured out how to call in, got the access code. Don't know how to use my phone other than that, so I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you.
Thanks, Frank.
Amy, do you have your hand up?
Well, I did have my hand up because I wanted
Oh,
to respond
yeah,
to Andrea. So maybe um, I
yeah.
just want to quickly say the guilt is just a waste of time. Let it go. That's that's a long
Good advice.
conversation a long time ago. So maybe what I'm saying doesn't fit in anymore. But there it is, Andrea. Let it go.
Thank you. Good advice.
Who else
I'm a
wants to go
Catholic
next?
girl. I get a lot of guilt in my head, you know. Well, I'm not Catholic anymore, but I was raised Catholic. So,
Yeah.
you
So,
know, I'm guilty about
so is
everything.
So you're
Me too,
recovering. You're
Andrea.
always recovering Catholic. If you don't go to Mass more than once a year from mom or whatever, you are recovering Catholic. I went to Catholic high school. Our principal for graduation gave us bumper stickers that said, "I survived Catholic school."
That's a good one.
So yeah,
Well, at
Amy,
least I didn't go to Catholic school. That's good.
Amy, did you have some things to say?
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
I did actually. I want to use this group to ask questions about things that, and I'm going to say specifically, Chris, for you, because it sounds like you're very new to MS, about what would be most helpful for you to see from somebody that has MS. If you're searching online, what is it that you want to know about MS? If you can give me a couple of things.
Hmm.
Um, well, I think first of all, like Catherine said right at the very beginning, I know she's not here anymore, but just the fact that you guys are all doing well and you know to reach out and to support each other. And that is super awesome. So I appreciate that first and foremost. Right now it is. I'm just at such the beginning place, looking into different treatments and just trying to wrap my head around what might or what might not work. Last week I attended something in Colombia, and just the easy things, not things, the little tips. In terms of heat, just all the funny little things that I don't know yet. I said at the beginning, um, I'm happy to know there's a reason for the way my body is responding the way it is. I couldn't understand why I couldn't shower and my leg wouldn't lift. So it's little things like that right now that I guess I know every body literally is different, but maybe if there's some little things that were helpful at the beginning for until I am on some kind of modifying therapy. I don't know. That's really where I'm at right now. That's not really an answer for you, but it's just those little things I think in this moment that are helpful for
I know,
me.
but it's
Of trying to manage how can I move my body most effectively where I'm not exhausted,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it,
that's a
but
tough
I'm
one.
trying to figure that one out
I feel
too.
like
But I
you
have
can,
I
and I
have
can
That's
two
yeah.
things from the party in Raleigh on Saturday. It was really hot and really humid, and the
mm,
band was outside, and I forgot to take any cooling stuff with me.
mhm,
I have a fan that I can put water into, so it'll fan mist into me, which is really nice, but I forgot it. I've got a
mhm,
cooling vest, which is nice, but I forgot it.
Yeah.
So what I did was wet a hand towel from the kitchen and put it in the freezer. And it was so funny because I was walking outside with this hand towel that's now frozen solid and sticking out. And people are like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Feel it." And they touched it and they're like, "Oh, I want one of those." I'm like, "I know." So that went around my neck, and yeah, it melted down onto my shirt and stuff. But I loved it. And then the hostess of where the party was, she had this thing that hangs around her neck, and she calls it a neck air conditioner. It's not only a fan, it actually puts out cold air. And I had never seen or heard of that, but you can get it on Amazon. So
That's
I think
nice.
I'm going to give one to everybody in North Carolina for Christmas.
yeah, I'm with you. Like in Texas, I'm in South Carolina, so it is just hot as blazes right now, and I'm just avoiding outside. And yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I do.
my sisters
That's
were
what I
Yeah.
like
do.
sitting at the pool, and I
Yeah.
walked out and I had the frozen ice things in my shirt because I'm like, I don't, for some reason it's helping. I don't get it yet, but at least I can sit here for a minute.
Chris,
So,
Yeah.
my little suggestion is that learn to take longer and slower.
mm,
I do this thing called butterflying, where I do little chores all over the house at once. But it's like, oh, I need to clean my bathroom today. Well, I'm going to do the sink here. Then I'm going to. But I'm thinking about sinks. I'm going to butterfly over and wash out the other bathroom sink. Oh gosh, I'm back here. It looks like we do some towel laundry. So we just kind of do it like that, and you just hope that everything gets done, and
mhm.
that you can learn to be okay with stuff not getting done.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
Yeah.
have
big one
to you
too.
have to loosen your own expectations about yourself.
I think that's been big, just being kind and knowing I have to shower now at night. And then the next day when I wake up, if it's a day where I have to lift my leg out of bed, I know I do one activity,
Mm,
which is so hard because that is so not me.
Right.
yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
I would say, Chris, there's this weird little thing that some of us say, and I'm looking up for to put it up onto your um, into the thing. It's called the spoon theory. Like we wake up with
Mhm.
just so many spoons of energy in a day,
Mhm.
where A normie, normies, can shower, and that takes not even a spoon. But I shower, that takes like 5 that I can't get back, that I can't wash off, I can't reuse. They're just gone. And there's some days where you have to cut yourself early so that you know you can get good rest to get all those spoons back. Um, for instance, oh man, I'm going to a concert on Saturday. Well, let's slow it down like Friday, and then make sure that you give yourself like Monday and part of Tuesday, because that's what I'll need. Like I know it well enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's the toughest thing ever, because who's our harshest critic?
Yeah.
Who's the person that I know I used to be able to do this. Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't walk upstairs anymore, but guess what? Ramps.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I like to think of all of this stuff as compromise.
yeah,
Like I'm
and great.
compromising with my body in that day. So maybe I really want to go hiking, but it's super hot outside, so I'll compromise and maybe I'll just spend like 10 minutes 3 times a day and just enjoy the time when I'm walking my dog because he needs to be walked anyway. So I'm compromising in that way. Or maybe I just take a walk at night because I'm very lucky to be in like an apartment complex where I feel very safe. So I can go walk around at night and feel fine. So it's so much cooler at night too. And I'm in South Texas, so it's so hot. Like a cool day in summer is like 95 degrees. So compromise is a must, especially for somebody like me who just like I feel I sometimes I compare myself to a dog and I tell my boyfriend I need to be walked. I need to be out there. I need to go. So I just need to like have my outside time. That's all. So compromise is very necessary because I know that my body cannot deal with these things. It just cannot deal. But my mind and my heart want to go somewhere else. So I'm going to try to find a way to compromise with my day and with my body and what I want to do. It's
Also, you give
mhm,
yourself grace,
yes,
like a lot of grace, and more
yes.
than you ever try to give yourself. And also, maybe I'm a jerk or whatever, but sometimes you just got to give up with the day. You just got to be like, okay, I had this other stuff planned. I didn't regulate well enough, so today's done.
And that's okay. Yeah, it's exactly like you said. Just learn to be okay with no. Like I always feel like I can just do it again tomorrow. I can try again tomorrow. It's like, but it's also like with my artwork too. I sort of connect those things together too. If my piece of artwork doesn't really fit, or if I'm not really like doing it right, it's okay. I don't have to get frustrated with myself. I can just do it again, start all over again. I might have to start over several
Jeanette,
times, but that's okay.
Can I say
Jeanette, did you
something?
want to say something?
Oh,
Jeanette?
oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, I have the wrong name. I can't see
Louise?
your names.
Louise.
Yes, Louise.
Sorry, Louise.
Well,
Yes.
I wanted to respond to what you were just saying because, I've been tuning in to the meetings for the last 2 years, and I remember, um, I think I'm going back to about a year ago, where you just mentioned something. You said, every day with MS, it's a surprise. And it was just, it was very quickly you said that, but it really made me think about how inconsistent and inconsistent that MS is. And every day is a surprise. So when I wake up in the morning, I just think about, well, what is my day going to be like? And sometimes my day is going to be great for the first hour, and so what do I do for that first hour? I do lots and lots of things, and then I crash and I'm done for the day. So uh, the most important thing I wanted to say is how much I appreciated you just saying that very quickly, that every day is a surprise. Yeah.
That was Hannah or John? Who said that?
Anna.
Hannah.
Anna?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I believe
Can
it.
you
Yep.
I can't see your name, and that's why I'm saying, and I have this brain fog, and because I can't see your name, then I'm
oh,
hoping that you know that I'm talking to you.
oh yeah, yeah. Um,
And something just to add on to Andrea is like you every day is a surprise, and Louise the same thing. And one of the hardest things that I have to deal with is like you wake up and the first thought is MS.
Yeah,
mm,
yeah, that's
And
right.
so sometimes you open that surprise, like being able to get out of bed easily and do some stuff. Sometimes that box is full of shit. Like sometimes it's literal shit if you don't make it to the bathroom on time, you know? Uh, so yeah, prepare for the unexpected. Plan contingencies for so much different stuff, I think, guys.
mm,
Well, I think a lot of what John just said that has helped. I've never been a planner. I've never been, one to worry about that. I love just spontaneity, just doing what I feel at the time that I feel it. But I can't do that anymore.
yeah,
We had the event on Saturday, and everybody's preparing, and I had to be told 3 times to go inside with the air conditioning, or you're not going to make it through, because last year I didn't make it through. Last year I fell asleep um halfway through the first band. So this year I heeded what they said. I went inside. I stayed quiet. I sat on the couch. I'm not going to say I took a nap, but I closed my eyes, I rested, and I actually made it through both bands. So,
Nice.
I I call that planning, right? I had
yeah,
to, I had to
yeah,
plan to be inside, stay in the air conditioning, plan to conserve my energy so that I could use it later on that day.
yeah, yeah.
As
I know
my
exactly what you mean, Andrea. Sorry, go ahead, Frank.
as my old
Are you
mentor said, when you have MS, you have to form a partnership with it. You just have to
Yeah,
remember you're the senior partner. So when you need to
sometimes.
take a break, take a break. When you
Yeah.
need to stop, stop.
Yeah.
And if you need to do something later, break now, rest now, conserve for when you need it.
I've,
Yeah,
I, I have found with MS, time's not an issue anymore. It's really not. How long it takes me to do a job is not an issue anymore. It may
yeah.
take me,
Everything takes me longer.
it may
Yeah,
take
that's
me
a great
2
point,
days.
Frank.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just you
Get
just
it done.
you learn to adapt,
Yep.
adapt to yourself too, because Andrea, like you said, I'm you're not a planner, I'm not a planner either. I hate it. Um,
Hmm.
but it's kind of one of those things where if it's something important or if it's an issue that keeps popping up, you kind of have to plan for it. And I was going to
Right.
mention like another tip for anybody who needs it, or anybody who has urinary problems, specifically incontinence. All right, I keep some like liners, like little panty liners in my purse, because I don't know when a little urinary issue is gonna happen. So I always just keep them around no matter what, because I just
I thought I
need
was
them,
old
you
enough to
know.
stop needing to do that. Now I do it for a different reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and it sucks because I feel like I'm always having to go to the what is it, the urologist. I'm always having to go to the urologist, and it's great that she's like monitoring my symptoms, but it's just one of those things that I've learned to adapt with. Just carry the things that you need with you if you can, if you have a purse, if you carry a purse, um, because you never know when you might need little like helpful things like that. So
And
They
just
have
want to throw that out there.
I think one
they
thing that
have
I was going to talk about today is just when the side effects from your medicine are worse than the problem. Because John and I, we both are dealing with urinary tract infections. And of course, they give you antibiotics, but then I woke up this morning and my room was spinning like I was 21 years old. I was like, whoa, I did
Oh
not
man.
have a good time last night. Why is the room spinning? It's just
Right.
from the antibiotics. And I'm like, really, would it be so bad to have a urinary tract infection a little bit longer because I don't want to have the spins? And I don't want to be, nauseated. So I don't know.
Jennifer,
Do any of you deal with that, Louise?
no, I have a question. Like, are you saying that the spinning, you think it's from the antibiotics?
I really do. It said like one of the symptoms. I looked because I always throw that piece of paper that comes. I don't always, but I did yesterday. I just threw it to the side that came with the prescription. And one of the top uh, side effects was dizziness. And
Okay.
I don't like to feel dizzy. I mean, so I suppose I could call and see if I could get a different antibiotic, but
So do you also feel nauseous and
I, I, yeah, you just, I don't know about you with UTIs or any of you, but I just don't feel good when I have them.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Cannabis can help a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Jennifer, with what's going on now, like my UTIs are pretty easy to clear up, but now we're on to something more, and I hate that we have to pay so much attention to pee. Like, can't we
Yeah,
just pee like the normies? Not that normal people don't get UTIs, but you know what I mean. Frequent.
Jen, you might be able to ask your doctor if the nausea, they have add more medicine, but they can help you with that with, a medicine for your medicine.
yeah,
And luckily, at least it's short term, right? You won't be on
yeah.
it forever.
That's the truth. Thank you for saying that, Andrea. Like, look on the bright side.
And
Um,
they have an
It won't last forever.
anti-nausea medicine also. There's a
Right.
couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
one, shoot, I just forgot. Oh yeah, Jennifer, I had the shape like the spinnies as well. All right, and it wasn't as bad as one night where I smoked too much weed, and the spinnies were the next morning, and they were horrible. So I just think I just had really bad spins. I don't think marijuana had anything to do with it at all. Not at all. I just wanted to make
It
like
doesn't usually do that, I don't think.
no, I know, but yeah,
But MS will.
yeah.
MS will do that to you.
Vertigo.
Sherry, you're on mute.
Yeah, Sherry.
I was gonna say I used to have spells. I haven't had one in a while, knock on wood, but the whole room was spinning and I didn't know which way was up and which way was down. And I wasn't on medication to cause it.
Right.
So I guess it was,
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, it could have been. I think vertigo was one of my very first
Yeah.
MS symptoms that has
Yeah.
since gone away. Thankfully, I don't
It, yeah,
experience vertigo anymore. Even though I have dizziness, it's
yeah,
different. It's not like the.
Yep.
Do you feel that too, Sherry? Like, do you feel
yeah,
dizziness? But okay,
yeah, but not the spinning like I used to
okay,
get.
yeah,
Horrible. It was
yeah,
horrible.
yeah. I hated that. It was terrible.
But I
Yeah.
don't get that anymore, thank goodness.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I can deal with the dizziness,
Yeah,
Right.
just because I'm
Right.
used to it. Like, not that I welcome it at all, but it's just something you get used to, right?
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's no fun.
Oh, Andrea, I'm
I have
not
a
a
another
planner at
question if
all.
it's okay.
I, oh, I'm sorry. Amy, were you going?
Something I
Well,
wanted to
I was
mention.
just going to take a moment, if I could, to ask.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the group, what would you find most helpful for you and where you are in your disease process for other people around you to know about MS? What would be what could possibly kind of make your life easier if your community, your family, if they knew more about multiple sclerosis? Or do you know
So
a lot
I
about
would,
multiple sclerosis and they understand exactly? I know, Jennifer, your situation.
That's been a very difficult experience for me, like 33 years of MS. And I've gotten to a place where I question myself. I'm not suggesting that this for you, but for me, this is where I'm at, is why do I need people to understand my MS? And because it's been really frustrating. I hear things like, well, you don't look like you have MS. Um,
Mhm.
or with the cognitive difficulties, well, you sound good to me, or everybody has that. And now that I'm in my 70s, well, it's because of your age. Um, so it's,
That's gotta be annoying.
I feel that it's
Oh,
we,
I'm tired too, or my legs hurt too, or yeah.
yeah. But I
my
do,
Yeah.
at the same time, I understand that it's important for at least family to believe you. Um, but for me, my own personal experience, I don't know, maybe somebody else has some good ideas, but it's been so frustrating to
they
try
do
to
Yeah.
explain MS,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
start explaining
they
it, and
do
then
not understand.
I want to stop talking in the middle. Go ahead, Frank. I'm sorry.
They do not understand.
No,
It's ignorance of the disease. You can't teach them. You can't make people understand. They just have to accept the fact that where I am. And I'm sorry, it's my life.
It's not your
Yeah.
job to educate them.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
yeah,
But to be honest, I don't think even
Well,
doctors truly understand. They
that's
might
yeah,
true.
believe us, but I don't think they understand what we're going through.
that's right. Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
They
it's
can't. There's no way
frustrating.
they can.
I feel like it's for me, I get the most frustrated when the doctors they
Right.
like you said, they don't understand what I'm going through. And I'm really lucky that I have a like an MS specialist, neurologist that does get it. She's an MS specialist, but everybody else does not. And it for me, I feel like it's pretty bad too because my disease is invisible. Like I have my parking placards, like my disability
Right.
plates on, and I do need them. But like I know there's gonna be a day when somebody comes up to me and says, why are you parking there in that disabled person parking spot?" Hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for the day, because it's invisible and people don't understand it. And I'm lucky that my mom, she does her best to remember that I get tired real easily, and she does her best to remember like specific symptoms. So it's been like an ongoing, even after 7 years, it's been like an ongoing thing where every once in a while I'll have to remind her that I can't do quite as much as she's asking of me. It's those little reminders that
Right.
I'm always having to do. Even with my mom, 7 years into
Yeah.
having MS. And don't get me wrong, like she is great about like remembering specific things like fatigue and the heat intolerance too. But I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be an ongoing thing, probably lifelong, and I do like to take it upon myself to educate people about it, but at the same time, like it does get tiring, having to do that. So,
One of the things that I really had trouble
It
with
does.
starting
It
to
does,
do.
but it's something.
mhm. Go ahead, Amy.
I don't know if am I talking or John, are you? Okay, so I found this to be true too. This year marks 10 years of being diagnosed. So I decided that I was going to put together a channel on on the website, but I also decided to kind of branch it out across several channels to really start talking about what multiple sclerosis is from a person that has MS. Because, like you said, Andrea, and it's doctors, they can talk about it. You've got health writers that can write medically about it, but to actually experience it, and um, and yet I know that what I have done does not cover the full gamut of everything with MS. So, for example, I don't feel pain. I don't have pain problems, but it's huge for, I would even say, most people with MS. So, I research as to how do I put that together and how do I convey that. But it's where I'm not, my message is not getting out there, and I'm thinking maybe what I'm saying or what I'm doing, it's just not, I don't know if it's just not resonating, or how do how do I spread it better? So that's one of the reasons why, Chris, my question to you was, what is it that you want to know about MS? Because that's what my purpose in doing this is not to make money. My purpose is to get more attention on multiple sclerosis, on what it's really like to live with it, what it means when you have to have mobility aids, what it means when you can't make it to the bathroom in time. Because we can talk about it, we all know what that is. And Chris, that may be a little bit of news to you, not necessarily something that uh, is led with that MS creates urinary trouble. But until more people are paying attention to what we're going through, until we're more vocal about it, I just feel like we're going to be caught in this endless cycle of, oh, there's a treatment over here, there's a treatment here, but there's never, I don't know. I guess my frustration is building is because my disability is increasing by leaps and bounds. And I am on medication. I'm on Briumvi, which is one of the newest MS treatments. And yet my ability to like hold things in my left hand, even feel parts of my left hand, it's a lot worse. Like it's a lot worse now than it was 6 months ago. And I'm just kind of like, what can I do? What can I do? I've got to get more attention going here. So that is part of my reasons for all my questions.
Well, Amy, I think,
I also get really frustrated with, everybody telling you as a medical patient to advocate for yourself. I mean, I went to doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor for decades before I got a diagnosis. And, you need to advocate for yourself. I don't know how to advocate for myself. When I tell a doctor that something isn't right and he says, yes, it is, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm tired of the medical community putting all the onus on the patient. I go
Mhm.
in and I say, okay, my hip is jutting out to the side. My back hurts so bad I can't walk. And they don't try to find the source of it. They start injecting steroids into my spine, and then they start talking about burning back nerves. And maybe the doctor ought to look at what's causing this pain, and do I need to burn back nerves, and do I take more than 10 seconds to look at me. The insurance or the for-profit
Mm.
everything gives a patient no more than 20 minutes with the doctor. And you're lucky if you get that, because the doctor wants to use part of that 20 minutes to put his notes in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
this is
I just
why
went
I
off
feel
on a
like,
soapbox.
oh, you're good. No, I feel like getting our stories out there and talking to people and being vocal about our lives and what we actually go through is so important. And I really feel like there needs to be more conferences out there, just general conferences where doctors can go and listen to actual patients talk about their lives, talk about their stories, because I Because like I mentioned earlier, one of the problems with MS being an invisible disease for a lot of us is that it it doesn't the things that we go through don't resonate with people because they don't see it. They don't see it,
And
they don't experience
doctors
it.
are scientists, so if they can't see
They
it, it
are.
doesn't exist.
That's
Sorry,
true,
I
and it
interrupted.
is true. No, it is true that, a lot of times patients like myself feel like a number, and they're the doc, but at the same time, the doctors are just getting through their day. They're getting through the numbers. So I feel like conferences and podcasts and things like that, where patients can actually speak up their voices, are crucial. They're really essential to spreading that patient experience, the things that we experience on a day-to-day basis. Um,
Amen.
and that reminds me, actually, I have some other friends who also have MS, and we were all talking, and somebody had mentioned maybe there should be like a reality show where like the camera crew like goes around and follows people, these friends, okay, friends specifically. They weren't talking about themselves. Like they were saying that maybe we should get like a camera crew to follow us all around and spend time with us individually, spend time with us like as a group. That way, like this camera crew can actually see like what goes through our daily lives and have a laugh at it too, because like they laugh at themselves too. We all have to laugh at ourselves
Yes, we do.
every
If you
once in
know,
a
you
while.
know.
So if anybody
We
knows
do.
like a
We have
production
to.
company, let's put it out there.
We all know I'd be down with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, I would be too. Because people, just on an individual basis, we all lead different lives just as a normie. So put MS in there, and suddenly there's a whole
Right.
slew of complications that other people don't see. So if you can throw in some humor to a reality TV show about chronic illnesses, I think people will pay attention. That's
so
just
We
I
me.
got to, yeah, we need to pitch it. I don't
Yeah.
I
even know
know.
what channel anymore.
the
I can.
where I went to grad school, the entrance to disability services was up 14 stairs outside cement with a rusty handrail. Um, but then they're like, no, this is around the corner, which had like a nice ramp and everything. But if you come at it from the front, you just say, huh. And I was still
How do you
mobile,
do
like
that?
walking then. And so I've got a picture of me like trying to climb the mountain with disability student services in the background. Um,
No, that's
so everything's just so hidden. Like we are just
yeah,
hidden away.
exactly. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Just real quick though, I want to plug in our new MS group. We have a new under 45 MS group that we're trying to get going. Some of us who are going to be moderators are still kind of going through the process of teaming up with the MS Society, so that they can spread the word about this new group as well. But it's going to be for people who are under 45, under the age of 45, or people who were diagnosed under the age of 45. And I say 45, but really what I mean is like 45-ish, ish. I'm not going to kick you out if you're like 50. But, um, uh, but yeah, we just want to throw that out there. It's going to be, we wanted to start it in July, but we might have to push it back a little bit depending on how the other moderators are doing about it. But we will keep you guys in the loop whenever it does start up. So just
Nice.
wanted to throw that out there.
Thanks.
Yes, of course.
Maybe
Yes,
there should
Louise?
also be a group aging with MS. And I know that
Yeah.
Jennifer, you have an
Yeah.
article that I haven't read yet, but yeah, aging. I mean, you have
Yeah.
MS and you're also aging, and there's like these two things happening. And yeah, maybe we could have I just wanted to make a suggestion for, and
Mm-hmm.
Frank, you're shaking your head, and yeah,
I'm aging and I have MS, so
yeah, I
Well,
qualify.
Yeah.
let's not be
No,
ageist.
I think that's a great idea.
We want to be boundary free.
And I think Rick is on. And Rick, what do you think?
I think it's a really good idea. Let me just tell you how the under 45s group came about. It was because a number of people reached out to us and said they weren't comfortable coming into this general group because there were too many old people in there, and they
That's
wanted to
I didn't
relate
ageist.
say
to
that
the younger
specifically, but
and but it didn't happen once. It probably happened half a dozen to 10 times. And then we said, well, maybe we need an under 45 group. And we spoke to NMSS, and they said that would be a great idea because we need to do more. Now, at the same time, um, I can definitely see the need for the aging group. Um, we discuss a lot of those aging issues in this group as it is. And it may be that we discuss even more of those once we start the under 45s. But what I would say is let's get this under 45s group up and running, and then see. And if we think it's needed, we're happy to host that, and we can talk to NMSS about that too. Um, the reason we're sort of slowed down and we're not starting in July is because we're partnering with NMSS. Everybody who's going to be a moderator for the under 45 has to go through their training. So it's not just our training, because we do a training, but we can get through our training in one, maybe two sessions. But they have a series of videos that you have to watch, and I don't know what happens after that. But because we're doing it with them, they want our people, they want our moderators to be certified by them as well. So, if that's the price we got to pay, it's not so difficult. Has anybody here done the NMSS training, completed it?
I've
Yeah.
done
long
the
time ago.
yeah, just the MS friend training, and it's just a little bit more than that. It's really
Mhm.
good training. Yeah,
Hmm.
Okay.
you've gone through the group training, Frank?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I have. And I mean, there are things that they teach in there that we don't, with this group, really align ourselves with, but I think it's great training. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a little better, it's a good understanding of people.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were you, Rick, I mean, I'd go through it yourself with Alexa, and so you guys, just to see what other people are
Yeah.
doing in their training.
Well, I think Alexa is going through it. She said,
But
didn't she? And Hannah, didn't she say she wanted to do it herself as well to see
Yeah,
what it
she
was
did.
about? So
Hmm.
she'll go through it, and then she'll let me know. Um, there are some differences. Look, we run our groups in a different way to most people.
Right.
Um, and because we want our groups to be like people sitting around the kitchen table and talking to each other, and to a large extent that happens, and it puts a little more onus on the moderators because they've got to keep everything straight and keep people talking and stop people talking over each other and all the rest of the stuff. But by and large, our groups do work. I'm convinced that the pattern for the AnCan groups, the best practices for the AnCan groups, provides the best support groups that are out there. So, but we sort of got off topic. To go back to Louise, yes, it's a great idea. Let's just get this under 45s. Keep bugging us about it. Let the under 45s group go for maybe 3 months or so, and then we can go back to NMSS and see if we're successful. I'm sure that they'll say, yeah, we might want to do that. And who knows after that? Maybe then we have an MS in Canada group. You never know. I wanted to just touch on Jeanette. Jeanette, you wanted to come in and say something before. I noticed that. Would you like to speak up right now?
Oh, and if you're talking to me, it was something stupid back on the incontinence subject was, and I don't want to plug any company, but there is a company called Design Comfort that has really, really worked for several people. They've given good reviews of their leak-proof underwear. They seem to really work. And you don't have to buy all those pads and everything, and you can use a pad in it too just to be safe, but they really do work, and you can wear them all the time and not worry about being out and around or not having a pad with you, or it just is a really nice thing I've discovered.
Well,
What was it called?
first, oh,
The,
first of all, that's great. Thank you for contributing. You are not. We love it when people plug products that they use and they can endorse because it helps everybody else. Jeanette, do you know how to use the chat window?
um, I I have never done it and I'm brain dead, so I don't know that I could.
Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you and then we can put it in. But it's those little two squares on the top right of your screen. And if you click on that, it'll open a whole bunch of stuff in there and people putting information in there. If you tell me the name of the product, I will put it in the chat window.
Okay, I can do that. The company name is Comfort Design, and I know you can get online and find them, but I don't know addresses or anything. But
Okay,
they
well, I'm putting it in there. There you go. So some of our good researchers in here can check out and see what they can find about comfort design and put additional information in there. But
okay,
that's
and it
really
may
helpful. Thank you.
be for men and women. I am not sure. Well, I know it's women, but I don't know about men. So yes, thank you very much because they are my cousin swears by them. So
Okay. So let me ask you, Jeanette, do you live with MS or are you a care partner?
oh no, I'm an MSer for about 30 some years.
Oh my gosh. So this is something that's in your family.
Um, I have a sister who also has MS, if that's what you mean, but it's not. We're the only two
Oh,
so
okay.
far.
Okay. Okay. I just assumed, well, I shouldn't have assumed that your cousin was also dealing with MS, but dealing with something else. But
Oh yeah, no, hers is something else. So yeah.
okay. All right. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea's put a link in the chat window. So we'll find out if they're for men as well as for women. I'm sure momentarily somebody's going to tell us. Keep an eye on the chat window, and I'll hand it back to Miss Hannah and Miss Jen.
I think it's just women.
Oh,
It could be, but there are other companies out there that do the
Right.
same thing, just don't know their names, and so maybe they have for men. I don't know. I hope.
I hope so. Well, would anybody else like to say something? I know it's already, what, an hour and a half or so into the meeting. But if anybody has anything else they'd like to say, real quick, go ahead and jump in. All right. Well, I would just like to mention, I don't know, maybe anybody, maybe you guys have some experience with this, just real quick. I was just diagnosed with ADHD recently. No surprise here. Um, so I don't know if anybody else has been diagnosed with ADHD later on in life, but yeah, I'm not liking all these meds that I'm taking. Because I know we, just to, go back to one of those topics where we mentioned like overlapping symptoms. Well, my I guess mental medications like Zoloft and Wellbutrin and Vyvanse, apparently all three of them can cause headaches, and it's been driving me crazy that I have all these headaches every single day. there's a headache and it's just driving me insane that I don't know if it's from like my own other issues, because I have other issues like neck issues, and like I have TMJ syndrome too, which also causes headaches. So is it the medication? Is it like the back issue? Is it my TMJ? Louise, you had your hand up.
Yes, I did. Dr. Gabor Mate from Canada, I think he's in Vancouver, and he was diagnosed with attention deficit
Hmm.
in later life, and his children have attention deficit. He's written a book about it, and you can get a lot of information on YouTube. His name is Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, I think you'll really appreciate what he has to say.
You
Yeah.
spell
No,
his
I'm gonna write
name.
that.
Can you put it in the chat window, Louise? Because then that way
Hey,
we'll
Louise, how
when
do
we
you
copy
spell
the
his
chat,
last
it'll
name?
it'll it'll be in
Mate,
the chat.
I think it's Mate, Mate, or Matte. I'm also brain dead here, and he's also written
Gabor
a book.
Mate. Okay.
He's
I
also
got it as best I could in the chat.
okay. Um, he's also written a book about when your body says no, and he talks a lot about MS in this book. I really like him. I mean, he's just has a lot of great information about attention deficit and about MS and stress and yeah.
Cool.
Uh,
I will look into that.
I did. I just Googled it and I got the right spelling.
oh, good. So it wasn't.
Good.
Thanks, Andrea.
It's
And
only one T
before
though. It's Mate. So I lied. I didn't get the right spelling.
Oh, it's Mate. Okay.
Oh, okay. When the body says no, scattered minds, the myth
Scattered,
of normal. I like that.
and the
Cool.
scattered mind is the one that he talks about attention deficit.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time talking here. Just
you're doing great, you're doing
thank you.
and be, and Miss Hannah, before you go, you need to do a promo. Isn't there something going on tonight?
Yes, tonight we have our art class. It's been rescheduled from last week, last Thursday. It is normally on the third Thursday of the month, but today it's tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So it's going to be an acrylic painting. I don't have the painting out with me right now, but we'll be using, of course, paintbrushes, but also a little bit of finger painting and a little bit of palette knife painting too. So a lot of things going on tonight. So if you want to join us, I can actually put the registration link in the chat box if I can find my.
That would be great because I was looking for it, but you can probably find it quicker than I can if you could put the
No, yeah,
registration
let
in
me
the chat
see if
box.
I can find it. But yes, it is tonight and it is virtual, of course. And we just get together and we just have a good time.
Now, is there
And if you
anybody in
haven't
this
been there
room?
and you don't know art, it doesn't matter. Your art will come out amazing. You just follow Hannah's directions, and it is so much fun.
I was just going to say, is there anybody in this room who thinks they cannot paint? Anybody? Put your hand up. Okay, Sherry, anyone else who thinks they cannot paint? If you guys, Frank if you guys attend tonight, we will prove you wrong. Is
I
that
know
right,
it.
Miss
She
Hannah?
The
has,
last,
she,
Yep.
last art class I went to, they kicked me out on day 2.
Oh, geez. Did we? I don't think we did.
Hannah would never kick you out. And at the end, she'll tell you how amazing your picture is, no matter what it looks like.
Okay.
I Yeah, I love breaking down the art elements, I guess, into the very easy to digest things, very easy things that anybody can do. So, so if you don't think you can do art, I'm sure you can. I know you can.
I
The
never
art
thought
side
I
of my
could. All of my art, I say Hannah and I made together.
the art side of my brain is empty. The
We'll
logical
prove it different.
Jennifer, if you're trying to talk, you're on mute.
We'll
the
prove
logic
you
side
different. We'll prove you wrong, Frank. Give us a chance. Give Hannah a chance. We'll prove you
Yes,
wrong, right, Hannah?
yes, we will. In fact, I'm going to put the registration link right there. I finally found it. Even
And
if you don't have any, even if you don't have any art supplies or any of the correct art supplies, we'll figure it out. I'll show you how to use them anyway. We'll figure it out.
and for those of you who don't know, this is actually Hannah's profession. She is a professionally trained, university trained art teacher, correct?
Yes, yes, I am. Yes, and I work for other nonprofits too. So I'll go into hospitals and I'll teach patients, and I do window murals on people's windows in the hospital. It's so weird. I always tell people I have so much fun in the hospital. It's a weird thing to say, but I do because I get to hang out with people in their rooms, and we just I try to um, bring a little bit of joy into their rooms while they're there. So it's a
That's
fun time.
very cool. Very
I
cool
love I
thing.
love my job. I love what I do here too. So hopefully I can see you guys there. Are you gonna be
Okay.
there, Andrea?
Yeah, I just finished the registration form,
Perfect.
and then I just have to remind you know who from Amazon to remind me at 7:50.
You know who? Okay, I know who you're talking about.
We know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
Louise.
have a question,
Louise?
Anna. Are your
Yeah.
sessions recorded? Like for me, it's 9 o'clock at night because of where I am. So is it something that is it recorded that I can look at and participate
Yes.
Yes.
in the recording?
Yeah. It is.
She has
So
a
if
bunch of
you,
older ones too that you can follow
yeah,
along with. Yeah.
yeah.
Pardon? I
If
didn't hear what
you
you, whoops.
if you register, you'll be able to get the recording. So even if you don't show up, I'll at least have your email in the system. So I'll send you the recording.
So how do I register? How do I find the
In
place
the
to
chat
register?
window,
Yeah, I
there is,
put it up in the chat.
in the
We're
last
really going to
message in
make you
the,
get into that chat window, Louise.
I know I'm I couldn't even find the chat window until now. So
so if you
You can
click on
also
those
find
two,
it from the resources page of the AnCan website.
okay, I think that'll be easier.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Um, if you want, you can also give me your email. If you, well, I guess you can say it out loud or you can type it out in the chat, but I can register you too.
Or
So
wait
I'll
till we
just
turn off the and then give it to her.
okay. So I'm a little confused about waiting for when to give you my email address.
Till after we
Oh,
stop recording.
yeah, so I can go ahead and stop recording if everybody's okay with that.